In a year since Cameron Boyce passed away unexpectedly. He had found success on the screen at an early age, and as a young actor, he wanted to use his platform to make a difference. Here's Cameron explaining why.
But we all go, and I hope that all of you really think about what it is that you want to leave. We all have material things. We all have things that we own, that we like, and we treat ourselves and all that stuff. But what you leave should be bigger than you.
I just got chills listening to that. Libby and Victor Boyce, Cameron's parents, have been working hard for the past year to continue their son's legacy through the Cameron Boyce Foundation. Libby and Victor, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Araxia.
The last time you were here, we discussed Runt, the movie Cameron was in, also Wielding Peace, which was a social media campaign he had started to talk about bullying and to help others who are struggling. After his passing, and we want to focus on what you've done since his passing because your work has been incredible. You started the Cameron Boyce Foundation just days after his death, and you've been so busy trying to help others and, of course, to help Cameron's memory live on.
Absolutely. Yeah, since Cameron passed, as you mentioned, we started the Cameron Boyce Foundation within days. We really have been learning a lot about epilepsy, which we did not know prior to his death. We've been really studying and learning how epilepsy has 40 different kinds of epilepsy. It's very hard to treat it if you don't know what kind it is. We have been working on the Wielding Peace campaign that Cameron started, which is really about giving young people alternatives to negativity and violence. He found creativity to be something that was incredibly important to his life. He had so many creative outlets, and that really healed him and made him feel good and whole. And it was what he was all about. And he very much felt strongly that young people, if they had more opportunities for that, there would be less negativity and less gun violence and less violence in general. In this world. And so his best friends, our foundation, have continued to pursue Wielding Peace, to learn about gun violence, to learn about the agencies out there that are helping reduce gun violence. We have a partnership with Inner City Arts, which is giving kids from disenfranchised communities opportunities to learn photography and dance and drama and different creative outlets, which has been amazing. We are also giving money to research on epilepsy, specifically sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, which is what took our son from us. So we are donating to those efforts, really donating to young researchers, bringing them into the field of epilepsy. But yeah, lots been going on with that.
Yeah, you've been doing amazing work. Victor, I know the importance of having that outlet, having that role model. Your son obviously had amazing role models, you being his parents, and he was able to succeed and achieve so much in the short amount of time that he was on this earth. But it's so important that young people have that outlet.
Absolutely. You know, I was fortunate to have pretty good role models, and so with my son, I tried to model good behavior and openness and diversity and all these things, they think are cliche, but they're really very important. And then he kind of took on beyond me and led the way with, just really taking care of his fans and taking care of his family and taking care of his friends. He was the most loyal person I think I've ever met, and it just goes beyond me. It was something obviously we had something to do with it, but he was just, I don't know, infused with kindness, and he passed that on. And I think his fans and people, like parents of his fans, appreciate that because their kids aspire to do things like Cameron, and he paid it forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oftentimes when I've heard people talk about Cameron, they just say that he just gave them this feeling, and the description used is he was a sunshine wearing shoes, which makes me smile. It's such a touching way to remember him. I do want to talk about the work that he did as a young boy with the homeless community. And Libby, I know this is work you continue to do. You've done a lot of work during this pandemic, in fact, but he was involved with the community from a very young age.
Yes.
About 7?
Yeah, he was young. I mean, it's just the work I was doing, and they, some agencies, homeless agencies, started to ask for him to come. And so he would just, anytime anybody asked, he would do it. And he would go and just talk to the kids and just be real with them. And they'd ask him all kinds of questions, some amazing questions, some silly questions, but he just went with it. And, he was a very, very easy person to be around. There was no airs, or he was just him. There was nothing, no fakeness. No, he was so authentic, and people got that vibe immediately. So he just could bring such light into a room, and also just sort of calm for kids to feel like, oh, he's just one of us. But yet
he was approachable.
They were so inspired by him.
Mm-hmm. And I know we're almost out of time, but if you could just give some advice for some parents out there who are struggling right now with the loss of a child, how do you keep going? How do you keep moving on?
Oh my God.
One foot in front of the other. It's something that you cannot understand unless you've lost a child. It's very hard. There are good days, there are bad days, but generally he doesn't leave my mind ever. Mm-hmm. And he's just, his essence is always with us, and the love of him is keeping me going.
We have a purpose, and like you said, he did a lot in his little 20 years. So his memory is truly a blessing. I mean, everywhere I look, anytime I open my phone, there's always something good and positive about him. And, other parents might not have that, but just the memory that you have, the time that you spent, whatever it was, whether it was a year, 5, 10, or 20, that time is precious, and you just have to hold on to that.
Yeah.
An untimely death indeed, but his memory does live on. And thank you so much for the work the two of you are doing and continue to do, and for spreading awareness so other families don't experience what you sadly have had to experience. For more information on the Cameron Boyce Foundation, go to the CameronBoyceFoundation.org. Victor and Libby, thank you so much for your time this